Before we move on to the demonstration, we are going to discuss about some overview of NGUI. And agenda for our discussion is I'm going to discuss about the key highlights of the NGUI as well as what are the enhancements we carried out as part of our NGUI. Then we move on to the demonstration. Key highlights is we already mentioned in a tech calls also. Our NGO supports multi-language. So currently we are supporting four primary languages: English, German, Spanish, and Portuguese. So with the easy, simple configuration JSON changes, we can easily add any number of language in our NGUI. So the transition between one language to another language is also very smooth and easy in our NGUI. So while you go for Stack, it's a purely Anglo-based application. The Anglo Stack is also updated. It's a stable version of Anglo 9. It's a current stable version of Angular. So all the stacks as well as libraries are updated. All the stacks are in the latest stable version. While you go for browser support, we tested our NGUI in latest.
Are you sharing your screen?
Yes, Prakash, screen is visible.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
I'll go for browser support. We tested drastically in our application in latest IE 11 and Edge, latest Chrome and Firefox. For Chrome and Firefox, we tested in two platforms, both Linux as well as in latest Windows version. While go for RBAC support, as aligned with the OSM, we tested our NGUI in RBAC support also. The main thing is while we go for reskin and scalable, the color schema generally it is we can easily reskin our application. So color schema by default we aligned with the open source color theme. That is why we taken a three major colors from open source logo. Three colors we already selected. By default, these three colors are selected. If a user wants to change the color theme of our application, it is easy. We can easily, by simple code change, you can easily reskin our application. Total application, we can go for reskin it. I'll go for scalable. Angular itself, MEC platform, so it supports MEC 11. So added on top of that, we also added a modularity. So each and every component of our NGUIs is a modular. So in a modular level structure also we followed. So while you go for modular, it is all our lazy loaded one. So while you go for lazy loaded one, it's a simple, very small, and then it is very fast. It is loaded. Also, it is easy for maintenance for us. So while you go for responsive side, we use a latest Bootstrap version to align for a RWD side. For installer, for installing both the lightweight and then NGUI interface, we give a -n as a optional parameter. This code is also we contributed to a DevOps repo. So still it is in the review status. While I go for move to the next one for enhancement size. Clearly, as mentioned, it is a modular based. So on top of that, each and every module I listed in the left side corner. The first column specified is a modular level. The second column is clearly specified as part of RHEL 7 what we enhanced in our NGUI. In the current latest sprints, what we enhanced as part of our aligned with OSM. And while we go for dashboard, it is a completely enhanced dashboard. So it gives you complete picture of logged in user project information. So as I mentioned, it is a clearly specifies a running instance. What is a running instance? List of running instance. What is the uptime? For the failed instance, we fetch the information from the NBA, and then that information also by popped out, we show it out. Also, we list out the projects. So, what is the user project? So, Let's move to next one, Rajesh.
No, Kumar. It is in highlights.
Now you able to see?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
While I stopped in the dashboard level. So dashboard, it is a enhanced one. So we specify what is the running instance, detail of running instance, what is the uptime of running instance in a chart. While you go for failed instance, we clearly describe what is the reason for failed instance. We fetch the information from the OSM side. We show it as. While go for project, what is the user projects? We list out the projects for easy switching between the projects. I mentioned it is a module level. So while I go for packages, it's a parent level module. So in that particular parent level module, we have as child levels. So NS package, VNF, and then NS are child level packages in our packages module. So as part of RHEL 7, we enhanced. That is already we have a drop down feature for uploading packages. We also included, we enhanced, and then we included one-click file explorer for uploading packages for making easy for the user. So in an instance level, we added automations. We added two automations in executing primitive levels. So while I go for executing primitives, so here we face some user experience level. We face issues. The user has to fetch the information from the client side. That is in a client side, and then he can manually enter the information for executing primitive. So for both the NS level, for a VNF level, that is user has to fetch the primitives. What is the relevant action for this one, and then relevant VNF member address also. But while we go for in NGUI, we enhanced it, and then we automated to fetch the actions as well as VNF member index for both the VNF level as well as in the NS level also. That is for a current activity, we enhanced that for NS level also. NS level primitive also we re-enabled. While I go for Grafana, we provide a link for Grafana service for each and every instance. So for a simple click, we redirect to give Grafana service, and then we can see the metrics of each and every NS instance. That is we carried out our past of NS instance. While I go for BIM account side, we already mentioned in our tech course, we plotted a data center location view, which clearly specifies what is the location of data center across the globe. So also by simple click on each and every location, what are the running instances available in each and every data center, which is also in a pop-up we have showed up. Also, I'll go for adding a BIM. We added a location search, and that location is also part of configuration we updated. To make easy for the user to upload, we introduce upload configuration. By simple YAML file, you can upload the configuration of BIM account informations. So across all the configuration area, we added this one. For example, we go for a WMS side as well as for STN side also, this upload configuration will be introduced. In the latest announcement in the BIM accounts, we linked Azure Public Cloud. Still it is in the testing side. For both the projects and user creation, in the latest sprint, we added a domain support for this one. So for both the user and project creation, we added domain name support for this one. For user side, we face some so in a user experience side, we added a easy role mapping. That is while you go for role mapping, so automatically we populated the list of projects as well as roles for relevant for this particular user. So user easily by selecting that one, user can easily create a role mapping for that particular user. While I go for roles purely for a user experience, I think while most of them we face while we creating a roles. Generally, user has to understood all the permissions. While you go for list of all the YAML permissions, and then you can create the user. Now we will introduce a preview mode. So by simple click and touch, user can able to create the roles So we listed all the permissions available in the NBL log. These are the enhancements we carried out as part of RHEL 7. I'll hand out to Bharat Kumar from Tata Elxsi for answer them.
Yes, thank you, Kumaran, and good evening, everyone. I will show a video demo of our NGU. Good evening, everyone. This is our new NGUI sign-in view, which is created based on the networking links and with the effective of open source Nano color schema. So we will entering into our default credentials, admin and admin. So here is our new dashboard design, which is created easily for the user interface, accessible for all the models which will be carried out here in the dashboard section. For example, you can see all the running instances over here and how many hours it is running, the current instance is running, and you can see overall the failed instance and all the projects listed for the particular user. And here you can see all the packages counts and Vim counts, SDN counts and instances counts. So a user can navigate easily over from the dashboard instead of clicking in the side menu. So here we have given the user easily switch the project to different projects, so he can see all the projects which the user is adapted, and it will be shown as an icon. One is green color and another one is a switch. Green color is nothing but he is in the current project and he can switch to some other project. It will be shown as a red icon, so his user can be switched easily. So it can be viewed in later. So currently we will moving into next Vim accounts. Here is the Vim account section. Here the Vim account list page is the same list design is carried out through all the modules. So user can easily view all the details and easily can understand what are the operational status over here. And operation status, instead of text, we have taken as an icon. So the icon represents what is the operation status, or it can be an configuration status, whether it is browsing or enabled or it is in error state. Instead of showing the text, we are highlighting the user so he can easily understand how the operation status is in for current Vim accounts, or it can be an instances in the SDN controller configurations. And we have created a action button over here, and this is our new data center view in the map. This section, it takes overall Vim data centers. It will cover all the latitude and longitude based on the given in the Vim account creation. It will place the map icon over here, and it will indicate all the instances or whether the instances is running. So you can see here Chennai data center, it carries one data NS instance, so it will show us instances. So user can easily view the instances running in particular data center by clicking on the map icon. If the instances is not available, so it will display as a no instance available in each of the icons. In list view also, instead of going into the map view, the user can view the running instance in this page section also. So here you can see the running instances in the layer icon, which Vim account is taken for the instances and how many instances are running. For other Vim accounts, which is instance which is not running, so it will be in the disabled state. You can see the disabled symbol over while it's hovering over there. So it can be easily configured, and it can be easily navigate to the particular NS instance sections. So it will be navigating into the running instances topology, and this is our new design user interface for the topology section, which is purely created for easy understanding of the topology, how the details should be in the left side, how the topology icons will be displayed in the right hand side. So the user can understand easily based on the given icons over here. And this our new creation of the Vim account. So I will create one Vim account over here. So in creating the Vim, how the Vim location has to be added, it will be shown here. And this is our newly added feature for the data center Vim location. Here just we need to fill out the location name. After giving the location name, just we need to click enter. It will populate all the results fetching from the OpenStreetMaps, and it will show the result. You can select appropriate location by in the listed result. After creating, we can view it in map view. So here we have created one Chennai Vim. So in data center already we had a Chennai data center. Now we have created a new one called as Chennai Vim. So it is listed over here. So it is easy to understand where the data center is located based on the location given in the Vim creation. And now we are moving into the packages section. The packages section, we have implemented two ways of uploading the files, descriptors. One is, and you can drag and drop the files. Another method is you can click and upload the files. Just if you drag into the particular section, it will be highlighted in dark color. So the user can leave the files and it will be uploaded and it will be created as a successful. Or the user can click and upload. So after uploading this NS packages, it will be landed in the topology section. So here, as mentioned, new topology design has been implemented. Left side, it will be carried for the drag and drop sections. For example, we have NS packages like we have a virtual link and VNFD links over here. So user can easily drag and drop. So I will be explaining how to drag and drop, how the connection will be established in coming section. Now we will see the information over here. So in default, the right arrow will show the indication to view the details of the particular NS packages. So you can view the in particular edge info by clicking on the edges. So it will be shown in the left hand side. For more information, the user can view how to create the edge, how to delete the edge. Create edge is nothing but just we have to click the shift and just we have to drag to the other edge. It will be connected and the dragging icon will be shown over here. For deleting, you just tap the double click, it will be deleted. Here how the custom packages will be created instead of uploading the descriptors. As mentioned, just drag and drop, it will be automatically created. Just shift and drag into the particular between two edges. Here we have automated the results for the connection point. As mentioned previously, we had a user need to enter the connection point. Now we have automated. We will be giving all the results of the connection point. The user can select appropriate connection point and just he can give OK to establish the connection between VL and VNFD. So here the connection point has been created. And now we will be going with the instance creation in the UI. Now the instance has been created. As mentioned in the Vim section, all the list will be in the same design layout, and all the status, configuration, and operation status will be shown in the icon status. So user can easily view it is in initial state. So the initial state is represented as a light yellow color, dark yellow color, sorry. And for running, it will be shown as a tick mark. For fail, it will be shown as a cross mark. Once the instances is up and running, it will be shown as a green color. The now instances is success and it is running and it is in configure state. User can view the NS instance topology. By clicking on the edges, left section will be shown the information. Now we are going to see the primitive section. As Kumaran mentioned, we have enhanced primitive level in two ways. One is NS primitive and another one is VNF primitive. So user can select appropriate primitive type so that he can perform either NS primitive level action or VNF level primitive actions. So now we have only a VNF level primitive action, so we'll be performing only a VNF level primitive. Here we have automated all the member index and primitive actions. So from YAML file, we will be fetching all the member indexes and it will be resulted over here. The user can select appropriate member index. And these are the actions. It is also automated one. Instead of typing the primitives, we are listing this one. So user can select appropriate primitive type. After selection, a user can perform the actions for which action he needs to. Currently, we are going to do action with the file name, and we will be changing the value of a file. Now, we have given the input, and just we need to execute over here. Everything is automated, and after executing the primitive, we can view the results in the history of operations by navigating into the history of operations page from the action section. You can see action has been performed and the operation state has been changed. It is completed. So the color of icon is green. We can view the info over in action section. Before that, we have a filtering for all the individual columns. So instead of searching for entire thing, user can search individual column. So he can give selection options. Selection nothing but it is predefined values for operational state and configured state. It is predefined values. So we have given as a selection state. For other things, the user has to give the input and he can filter out the result. Based on that, list will be viewed over it in list section. Here the information what we have action done in the primitive level, it will be affected over here. You can see. And this is from the NS primitive level. Now we are going into the SDN section. SDN section and Vim section. Overall, all the application of the forms, we have carried a validation scenario using the Angular validation method. So user can easily get the appropriate error whether record field has been filled or not. So we will be showing the record field validations. And only record, not only the record validation, we'll be showing exact validation for IP should be match exactly. It should be a 10.45. In that way, we have created validation. The port should be some 4200 or 4300. Based on that port validation, everything we have been implemented. DPID should be an 16-digit character with a colon mention. So every valid record and validation has been taken over in all the forms over all our application in NGUI. Once created, you can view all the information over the info section. Same as we have created a form controller. For time being, we are skipping this Vim creation right now. And same as we have mentioned SDN, all over the forms has been carried same as in all the sections, K8 and Vim accounts. Now we are moving to the admin section. Here is the project list view. This project list view is nothing but where the user can see all the projects, and user is mapped to some projects. He can be highlighted as a link which is given as a tick mark, and where tick mark represents current project, and switching the project is shown in the red color. So a user can switch the project from project section also. we have given multiple places to switch the project easily for the users. Here you can see by switching the project, we are asking prompt for user to enter his password, because in our front end we mainly focus on security, so we never store any databases or any local storage password. So user has to enter the password while prompting for switching the project. After switching into the project, you can see a user is switched to different project, and RBAC has been implemented over here. So after switching into the project, this project doesn't carry any packages. So every packages and all the counts are in 0. So user can view all the details over in the dashboard. This main focus for the dashboard. We'll be back into the same project. And another thing is, user can switch the project from any models, any menu, by clicking on the header section also. Instead of going into the dashboard or a project section, user can switch the project in a header section also. It is an easy way to navigate to other projects. Now we come back to the old project, and here you can see the project creation with a domain name, as we are in enhancement created for a domain. The recently created project is nothing but what the project has been created for the particular user in last project creation. So it will be listed. So the user can view the last project. Project is created, and we will be moving into the user section. User section is nothing but same as project. Here we will need to give the username and password. Here we have created a password policy. The password policy is nothing but it should be an 8 characters, and it carries one uppercase, one lowercase, and numerical should be available, and any special character should be available. This is the password policy which is implemented only in our UI. If the user is created in our UI, this policy should be taken care. The user is created successfully. Now we will go into see what are the other sections will be carried for the project user. Here is the project role mapping. As mentioned, we have enhanced all the features over here by listing all automated results for the projects for the particular user should be mapped, and what are the roles, and it also automated. So user can easily click and select the projects and roles. And here is another section where the user, this is an enhancement, the user can change his username in the user section. So now I have created a wrong username. Instead of OSM Actest, I messed out the okay. So now user can change the username. So it is easily user can change the username. Now we will be moving on to the role section. Role section, as explained, we have integrated a new GUI for a permission section. We have carried out all the permissions which is maintained in the NBA. Here you can see all the roles permissions by clicking on the preview. The GUI will be implemented here, and green icon defines that true, and yellow is not available, and green is false. For the particular role, it can be a true or it can be a false. So user can select easily by navigating into the appropriate roles permission. So we have listed all the permissions over here. In future, if any new model has been added in the NBA, we can easily add JSON permissions, and it will be integrated over here. It's just a file section, so it is easy to integrate in GUI. I have created some of the roles permissions. We have a list of all the permissions over here. We have created, and we can see in text view also. Instead of GUI, we can view in text view also. The permissions be listed, and the user can navigate between two sections, whether he can edit in text view or he can edit in GUI view. And we can see the OSM version using in the NGUI, and we'll be showing the OSM version which the version is using. So it will be highlighted in the header section and as well as in sign up section. Thank you. And another thing I'm going to show you is color schema which is implemented. The theme we can easily change the color scheme as mentioned in the OSM color schema. So now we will see here is the overall application. Now we have implemented one color, so we can switch to some other color as per the OSM color schema is represented. It is just a single tab, single change in the file, so it will be affected overall application. So you can see overall application, the color has been changed and the theming is very easy to integrate. Likewise, we can use we can change any color. Currently time being I am changing two colors. So the overall theme has been changed, and we have implemented a responsive design which is appropriate the user to view in iPad Pro and iPad, whether it is in portrait mode or it can be in landscape mode. Both the iPad and iPro we have designed effectively to be viewed very easily for all the users. And that's it from my side. Any questions?
Thank you. Very nice demo. So the UI looks very nice, and actually I like a lot the fact that you can customize it.